I haven't spoken to you.
Compliments.
And to you too, SG.
Yes.
I haven't spoken to you since the GNU. And since you complained about my rant.
No, I didn't complain. I knew that I owe you a visit, especially after the GNU. We have never had an opportunity to come to the studio and talk.
It looks like if you listen to the January 8th, there's a lot of buoyancy and confidence, and the president is more confident to talk about that this GNU was a correct decision and a correct strategic, decision to take. Can you just talk a little bit quickly and pointedly to those who may think, even within the movement itself, including our friend Solima Paila, etc., that this was a sell-out position? Just summarize it, because people are nervous about, what the DA stands for, etc. And some of them may say, even in the short journey of the GNU, they're showing their true colors, that they really are very belligerent towards you.
Thank you very much. Let's first celebrate 87.3%
of the matrix.
Of the matrix, which has never happened in 5 years.
Yes.
And this is the work House NG and the team have been doing. So Gwarube still have to.
It's riding the wave.
Yeah, she's right. It's right there. But congratulations to everybody and good work. GNU. JJ, it's a strategic, it's a tactical intervention among many options that were there. The outcome is the outcome that says you don't have a majority. You've got to take a particular choice. So you have to take a particular direction, and you've got to take some of the options. And we had many options on the table. We had an option of a coalition between parties. We had an option of a minority government. We had an option of going back to the benches. And then we will become the biggest opposition. Of which 6 million people voted for us. And then we've got 40%. So we need to form and lead the formation of government. So, and then you had GNU. So the NEC decided on GNU, which means it's inclusivity. Invite everybody, which is what we have done. We have engaged with all political parties. Others decided that they wouldn't be part of it. And which is fine, is there.
But the GNU was a last option, isn't it? It was not the first thing you put on the table.
No, just not the first thing. We debated all, and we did what we call a risk analysis on each option, because even GNU has got its own risks. And one of the key risks is that GNU does well, people will keep you in GNU in the last election. But we've got the responsibility with the 40% to advance what we stand for as a party. Political parties who are part of the GNU have committed through a statement of intent to good governance, constitutionalism, and the rule of law. And that is what is important.
Are you irritated that Zille calls it a coalition and says that doesn't care what you call it, you can call it whatever you like, but as far as she's concerned, this is a coalition between the ANC and the DA, and if any of these two only can decide to walk away, the thing will collapse?
No, it's not correct. It will not collapse because DA walks away. It will collapse if the ANC walk away. It will collapse because the ANC is the largest in the GNU, but it won't collapse if Zille walks away. It means that the Zille will just be replaced.
How do you interpret Zille's attitude? Because you are the key partners in the GNU. Should we really be listening to your squabbles every week?
No, we have not entertained that, and it's not squabbles to us. It's what they stand for, and they will fight to win within the arrangement of the GNU. So GNU is not a melting pot, JJ. It is a getting together of parties who are ideologically apart from each other, and they will try to use anything they can to basically get the things that they want to win the day in the government of national unity. And the ANC will also use its largest majority. But over and above that, we expect people to work together maturely, like it is happening now, and to deliver for the people of South Africa.
It looks like you are getting it from the right and from the left. How do you explain the SACP's very, almost hostile reception towards the GNU? Is it because you failed to take them with you so that they can see that this is a strategic arrangement? Your chairperson was here two or 3 weeks ago, and he says that the way Solima Paila is so vehement, it's like somebody who had promised the EFF and MK a place in the sun, and when that didn't happen, then it frustrated him. I mean, is that a shared sentiment within the ANC? Why didn't you take them along? I mean, to a point where they're saying, oh, we're going to go it alone.
No, we engaged with the party. We thought we understand each other on the matter of the GNU. There's nothing wrong, JJ, for our allies to have a critical opinion about the GNU.
Yeah.
We are a revolutionary party that prides itself with one fundamental principle called dissent. So the party as a party, not Mapaila, as the General Secretary, can take a decision that we don't like the GNU, we don't agree with it, and all of that. But however, we don't disagree with the perspective in principle that is a strategic. We are in a moment we characterize as a strategic setback, and that GNU is a tactic. So if communists can then depart from that basic analysis, then we'll have a fundamental problem. Now, we are engaging with them, but we are here now where we are. We've got to work together to win back. We're far more worried about things like the party going it alone in the election and all of that.
Do you think that's a mistake?
We are going to be engaging with them. And they came, we met in a bilateral. This month, we're supposed to continue with the bilateral, including discussing that. The ANC will work tirelessly to avoid the party
going alone.
That's what I can
But you do accept that it's your fault that we come to a point where the reconfiguration of the alliance is a slogan, because frankly we've been talking about it since probably 2012.
Yeah, they have a serious view, the party, that we agreed with them and we reneged. I was not there. We were not there. So they have a serious claim over that reconfiguration. We must consider
what do you mean you're not there? You've always been there.
No, I've always been there. I'm saying at the political council level.
I see.
Officials. So that they said it to us. And I've not heard anyone from the ANC disputing it. They said we agreed with you, you reneged.
On the reconfiguration.
On the reconfiguration. So we have to look into what was that agreement and what does this configuration means, not in theory, but in practice.
But have you not applied your mind on that as SG to say, why are these people complaining about?
I have applied my mind to that, and I'm very much determined to work with the party from my point of view as the Secretary General to get over with configuration, which is important. And then we deliver on it. We have delivered on negotiations with GNU. We can't fail to deliver on the party in terms of configuration, what it entails and all of that. Because configuration means change of gear in many ways. That the party will want certain things to more or less like co-govern. So have we reached that particular stage of co-governing? Can we accede to some of the things that the party wants? We need to examine that and get everybody around the table and all of us to be matured about it. And if we are able to pass that hurdle together with the party, that's good, well and good for me. And I think we are very much determined to find each other with the party in relation to configuration.
I asked Helen Zille what would be a deal breaker, right, in terms of the GNU. And at that point, you were saying that the Bella Act will be such a deal breaker. It doesn't look like it's broken the deal so far, unless they are cooking something. What's the deal breaker for the ANC on the GNU? Because in short, even in a marriage of convenience, you have something where you say, this one, if you do this, I'm out.
The ANC will not walk away from the GNU.
Okay. Regardless.
It will not walk away from the GNU.
At all costs.
We lead the GNU. We can't walk away from something that we lead. We can't. The DA has got the luxury to call things deal breaker and walk away. They've got that luxury. We don't. So we agreed to work with everybody. You see, the things that you need to understand, JJ, is that leave Zille for a while.
Yeah.
They are the second largest party after the ANC.
Yeah.
We said GNU and we went to everybody.
Yes.
And then nobody was not spoken to. Zuma and his people, they played their game. Elections are rigged. They boycotted the parliament. They did not vote for the president. They walked away. They did not have this concern that if the DA comes in, they're not coming in. They were playing their game. That they were robbed and all of that. That is their issue. The EFF, we said GNU, they said no. They want a grand coalition.
Yeah.
Meaning a marriage, a coalition between two political parties. Yeah. And we govern. We didn't go for that option. It meant that we don't agree. Yeah. So we had to go
with... Were they that bad? I mean, these are children of the revolution who you have actually very
we didn't have a problem. If they agreed to come to the GNU, they will be part of it.
Yeah, but not at the expense of the DA.
No, it has got nothing to do with the DA. If the EFF agreed to be part of the GNU, they will be part of government. We would have sat down, talked about positions and all of that, like we did with all other political parties.
So you deadlocked with them.
What we could not agree to, it's an arrangement of two political parties, and then we go with it. We said, let's work with everybody. Yeah. And there are 10 political parties there in the GNU, and they are participating.
Khayelitsha, tell me about it. I mean, your assessment, I mean, it looked full to the rafters and so on. And a lot of people were thinking, why? Cape Town has so many stadiums, and where you could take 50, 60, 70,000, then you go to a field that takes, what they say, 22,000 people.
22,000. No, our decision was correct.
Okay.
George Hill was also trying to sidetrack us.
Yeah, it's just you applied late for the Cape Town Stadium.
Us. It was not true. We worked very well with the city of Cape Town.
Yeah.
Probably that is the fruits of GNU. We had an excellent working together. Given the challenges of that field, there were no ablution facilities there. And then electricity, we had to bring literally everything there. It was a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Our comrades in the Western Cape went between October and November, once the NEC had announced we're going to Western Cape, went to inquire about DHL and then Athlone Stadium.
Yeah.
We told them, I'm the SG, nobody else communicates. I told Neville, our provincial secretary, Neville, we are not going there. Then they said, no, Boland. They didn't, because of the challenges of the stadium, but they were not opposed.
Yeah.
I said the decision is township.
Yeah.
We either go to the open field, but we are going to our people.
Yeah.
And look at now.
Yeah. But you could have gone to Belleville, you could have gone to UWC.
Yeah, we could have gone. We could have gone anywhere else, but the big field, the field was big and it could accommodate.
Yeah.
And we wanted people to walk in.
Yeah.
And it has paid dividends. Look at, I've never been to a rally like that one. I've organized many rallies where people stood in the sun, listened to the speech for 2 hours, and clapped for everything they liked in the speech by the president. My worry as the organizer of the rally was that people are going to go. The president is going on and on. But they stood. They followed the speech. It was hot. And then probably they didn't eat. And they came to the rally. And the water supply in and around.
That's fine from aesthetics point of view. Tell me now, let's go to the substance of Khayelitsha and what is happening there, etc. Let's start with your glitzy banquet at the Cape Town one of the most expensive venues in Cape Town, right? It was impossible to do the banquet in Khayelitsha. There's a big hotel there, a 5-star hotel in Khayelitsha.
Probably it is possible.
So why didn't you do that?
No, we choose Cape Town. And even that venue belongs to the people of South Africa. It must be utilized. It was a fundraising.
No, you have used it many times before.
Yes, but
sauna and whatever.
Yes, it is in Cape Town. There's nothing wrong to use that. It is in Cape Town, in the suburbs, or as you can say. So there was nothing wrong to use the venue to fundraise.
The problem, let me tell you what the problem is, and I really want you to address it quickly before we get to those priorities, is that the people of Khayelitsha, like businesses and so on, don't feel sometimes that government procures from them, right? For example, did you put NEC members to stay in the guest houses in Khayelitsha, in that hotel there in Khayelitsha, so they can walk themselves to that field?
Khayelitsha was fully occupied from a business
fully
point
booked.
of view. Fully occupied.
So you supported the businesses there?
They were supported. There was big boom in terms of businesses. Wherever the January 8 goes, it creates hype, but at the same time, it brings business to town. Because ANC members will flock in, and then they will leave. They will leave money there. And you can go qua Ace, you can go at the rents. I promised that I will go. I mean, the way it was packed, I couldn't go in. Coming out was a big.
And then finally, there was a lot of narrative, for lack of a better way, throughout the week that says the DA is neglecting townships. Look at the sewerage. I mean, Paul Mashatile was walking there, saying this is a sewerage. And if you switched off the TV volume, you could think he's walking in Alexander. So in other words, you and the DA are the same feather, flocking the same way when it comes to neglecting townships. Here on Deep Sloot, it looks western Khayelitsha. Here in Alexander, there's another one somewhere, next to Cosmo City. It's west there. You can't even drive at night. Can I just explain for me the contrast? Why would the spotlight necessarily be on a Khayelitsha when you are there, but in the rest of the country where you are in charge, it's even worse in some instances on squatter camps and just horrific conditions like the one we have in Gomorrah?
The ANC have never said to the people of South Africa, where we govern well. They've never said that.
Okay.
The DA said so. That where they govern well. We have acknowledged. Right here in your platform. Even when I was being distorted about the housing matter and the president.
Let's not go back there.
Let's not go back there. But I'm just saying, we have never hidden our weaknesses. We know that most municipalities are faced with bigger challenges.
So you're just saying they're like us?
No, it's not about being like us. Let me tell you, if you want to compare, we can compare. You look at Alex, you look at how many people have we moved to a good settlements out of Alex. You look at Cape Town. How many people has DA moved out of Khayelitsha and other areas?
They just kept them there, is that what you're saying?
They call them refugees. Zille called them refugees from the Eastern Cape in their own country. And then how many effort have they put to move people in good human settlements? In townships that are a big challenge, like those. The ANC's effort, in comparison, you will see our effort and our drive to take our people out of squalor and give them land and build them houses.
Can we fact check that later? We don't have to do it now, right? I would like to challenge you that we must fact check that. Secondly, is it not a tired narrative to say the DA spends less money in townships than in suburbs? Because they always come up with figures and budgets and say, no, we've done this, we've put so many big lights here, we've put so many roads in Khayelitsha, we've put so many toilets, etc. Especially after the Human Rights Commission did find what you are saying about 10 years ago. I think it's roughly 10 years ago, where they said the conditions in Khayelitsha are inhuman. And they instructed the city of Cape Town and the province to do something about it. Are you saying they're standing in the same place?
I will say that they are standing in the same place.
Yeah.
Look, in every ward, we control constituencies.
Yeah.
In Khayelitsha. Our people there, our ward councillors, can tell you we match that with what the council passes as a budget.
Yeah.
It's a struggle to invest in those communities. And our councillors are there on the ground to see for themselves. So they go to council every day fighting for poor people in the townships.
And the DA refuses.
They use the budget and distribute it in their own way. And,
they are now your partner in the GNU. Is this something you will take up within your so-called clearinghouse?
You see, we don't have power sharing. Even if we're in the GNU, GNU is basically like we're sharing power. But in the Western Cape, we don't share power. The DA dominates and is in charge. And so there is no GNU.
One of your priorities is economic inclusion, right? And linked to economic inclusion could be two things. For example, the NHI, that's economic inclusion. If people are sick, they can't work. If they can't work, it means that they will be, trapped in poverty, right? BEE, the DA has been clear that they don't want that. They don't want employment equity. They're in court on employment equity and so on. Just marry for me your January 8 with your GNU priorities. Because you can say all you want January 8, but you need state power to implement some of those things.
You are correct. The ANC within the government of national unity will drive the agenda of fixing local government, energy supply, and as well as the crisis of water in our country. That's what the ANC will do this year. And we have given clear tasks in terms of that priority, what government must do. The question of water is going to be like how we dealt with electricity on the agenda.
You'll take 15 years.
We will not take 15 years.
But that's how you deal with the electricity.
No electricity issue in this country.
You're talking about the success of the last year.
No, I'm talking about the success of stabilizing. Last year we said we will stabilize and work towards in energy supply. We were told that it's just a gimmick. It's
not going to happen.
It's elections thing and all of that. These people.
You must be pleased about that part.
It's the part that I know you don't like.
No, I like it. And I like Dan Marokani. He came from same high school. I think he's a good guy.
Exactly. When Dan was...
You appointed, at least for a change, you didn't appoint a bad cadre.
Who came before Dan?
Oh, the Raider. You appointed the Raider. That's your story. You appointed him.
Exactly, the Raider, disaster.
You appointed the poor cadre.
A disaster. It was not even a cadre. So this thing that we deploy cadres only, you must go check that it's not correct. We even deployed the Raider there. But when we appointed Dan, people were gossiping and all of that. We said, but this guy worked at, and he's an engineer. He worked at, when government appointed the board, appointed him. We supported as the ANC because we knew then he worked there. And then he was not a guy of state capture. And then he left, and then they compared him to where he was. He worked very well. They work nicely with the board. As a South African, before I'm ANC, I'm happy about that combination.
I think a lot of people are happy.
Exactly.
For some corner is working out very nicely.
Everything, when you have a concerted effort on it, it does work. We were talking about spine. That's what I call spine. When president...
You found the spine.
Yes, when that is one spine of the president you missed. When he appointed the Minister of Electricity. And then he was criticized, you know. And then, why do you do that? He said, I want focus on this.
So you're going to do the same with water.
We have a minister of water.
You can get it right?
We have minister of water.
No, but she's already told us that you must not call her if there's a problem with water, because we must call the local government.
It's
one of the first things she said when she was appointed.
It's a huge challenge, and we've got to deal with it. That is why it's part of our priorities. And then inclusive growth, industries, driving industrial policy, that is key. I mean, big business in the last year, that's why the president was happy.
Yeah.
And then we've got the G20 coming here. We must use that for the country and for the advancement of our economic interest in the world. But at the same time, it's going to bring huge attention to South Africa from an economic point of view. And big business has come to the party. We have raised with them disinvestment, failure to create industries, and then industries leaving the country and all of that. So we want that to work for us in terms of business driving and private sector, the agenda of job creation through social compact.
Yeah. I think the issue of water is linked to the collapsing infrastructure. Just yesterday, our reporters were out in Johannesburg to see that, that road, Lilian Goy, which collapsed out of a gaping gas leak or something, is still like that after 2 years, despite all the promises. There seems to be a disjuncture between what you pronounce about infrastructure. For example, Robben Island, just an example, in complete dilapidation, right? That ferry that people use apparently sometimes gets stuck. I mean, you must tell me why. Maybe that's why I used the yacht to get to Robben Island. Maybe you must answer that.
Yeah, no.
Was it a faster mode of transport or what is
no,
it? Because it shows sometimes that there seems to be a disconnect between the reality and the reality within which politicians live. How do you deal with that, especially on infrastructure? But answer this yacht thing, because a lot of people, when I said you are coming here, they said, no, please ask him. We're just curious, so that we just get it out of the way.
There's nothing to answer there. We have issued a statement.
Yeah, what was the statement saying?
Not clarifying the wrong narrative that is being peddled.
So you didn't go with a yacht?
No, we went with the yacht or the boat.
Yeah.
And then it was given to us as a mode of transport.
It was a gift?
No, it's not a gift, it's a donation.
When you didn't pay for it?
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Okay.
There's nothing that links us to corruption.
Why didn't you use the boat that people are using so you can see the problems that they're talking about?
No, I know the boat. I know the ferry. I've been into it. And that day, I had 5 lined up activities from Robben Island.
I see.
I left there.
Yeah.
I arrived late at the Songazom.
You even arrived late with a yacht?
No.
How did you arrive late? That thing's fast, man.
No, remember, it is fast, but I'm saying we're late because the Robben Island program, remember, it also dragged a bit.
Yeah.
So we were in Cape Town, we addressed there about 3 activities.
Okay.
And I had to drive out of Cape Town for 2 hours.
Yeah.
To Worcester in Zwelithemba. And I addressed the rally there.
Yeah.
Those journalists who were in the ferry, some of them who reported about the matter, could not reach other areas because they were late. The president used the state helicopter and then to reach his destination. So when the office made arrangements, they took into consideration with that. So it's not like people who were at Robben Island, the SG was gallivanting in the sea with a yacht. He did not do anything.
All right, but the infrastructure of Robben Island, were you impressed when you were there?
No, you are right. There have been challenges there. But I want to come back to the story about infrastructure.
Yeah.
Particularly in the cities like Johannesburg and all of that. You see this thing of coalitions interrupt development in a big way. Because Johannesburg changed from being a steady economy when coalitions came into play. And go back to fact check and all of that. Compare Masondo when he was there, Pakstow when he was there, up until the coalition's moment.
So you are blaming the coalition for the collapse?
No, there was a break of a rhythm because in terms of keeping up with development.
Let me ask you this, and you can summarize this as we close, but I hope you'll come back.
Yes.
Just to start the year, and thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yes.
What is the one thing that we should judge you on as the current leadership of the ANC, and you in particular as the engine? Just the one thing. You've got 3 years to go.
Yeah.
In fact, you've got a few months to the NGC. What would this be, this one thing?
Renewal of the ANC. Decisive.
Serious?
Decisive renewal of the ANC.
Yeah.
And you will see we are going to achieve that. Rebuilding the ANC in a difficult period where it lost the majority.
Yeah.
That is something that will define us.
Yeah.
And
what character will that renewal take if in the last 3 years you've not been able to implement a state capture report that cost 1 billion rand, and you've got 98 people in the ANC who are mentioned there, and you as the ANC has not said, hey, comrade, let's do something about this? Is that not part, wouldn't that give you a boost on renewal, just if you acted on what's on your desk?
The state has got to act. We still maintain even now.
Yeah.
It is acting even though the perception out there is that things are a bit slow.
Yeah.
We are in the same boat, that people who are on the wrong, they must be brought to book.
Yeah.
We are in the same page with the rest of society, the same as we.
It's just that you haven't acted for 3 years.
No, it's not us. We expect the state wheels to grind in terms of this. From the side of the ANC, we have taken those people who are our members to the DC.
Can I invite you for us to come and talk about the renewal? Because you said that's your one priority.
I'm very much happy.
I would like to do that after the State of the Nation address in February.
Yes.
1 hour on renewal only.
Only, yes.
We agreed.
By that time, many things will have happened. In terms of this year only. In terms of the renewal agenda.
For now, let's leave it there. But I thank you for giving us just some clarity on some of the things that have been going on. And we appreciate your time and all the best with the work that you have to continue to do. We're going to have a renewal special.
Thank you very much.
On Power to Truth in February.
We will be happy. And thank you for having us. And a Happy New Year.
And you too, my brother.
Thank you.